Hello guys, Sicario is here, yet with another retro review. This year was really very hard, and I played a lot of games that were not released this exact year. One of them was Shadow of the Tomb Raider. This game caught my eye really a lot since I love a lot of the Lara Croft movies. So let's not hesitate and let me show you why Shadow of the Tomb Raider is a really great and amazing game. If your memories from the Rise of the Tomb Raider are fresh enough, then in the first hour of the pass in the new game you will feel like you are still finishing the old one. It is clear that in the framework of the series, the projects are very similar, but everything is absolutely the same. Animation, stylistic decisions, interface organization. Because of this action, it is hard to perceive it as a separate part, rather than just a big addition. Unfortunately, Shadow of the Tomb Raider will surely go down in the history as another game about the Lara, and it deserves much more. The fact is that the appearance of the game is very deceptive. Eidos Montreal made a completely different projects in terms of the structure, and you notice it already in an hour on the second pass. Rise of the Tomb Raider gave the maximum of the action, many shootings and explosions, catapults break in the ancient temples, enemies throw caves at the grenades. No matter how hard I try to covertly, sooner or later I will turn into run of the serious firing. In the new part, the developers seriously slowed down, turning it to the very essence of the Tomb Raider, the search for the treasures and unraveling the secrets. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is closer to an adventure game than to an action with an acrobatic elements, as it was before. It seems that the developers finally found the right balance and now stopped catching up with an Uncharted. It would not have been possible anyway. Most of the time, Lara wanders through the jungle, collects plants and all kinds of junk, explores the structures and drawings. The only thing that breaks idle is Trinity, the same organization that wants to get an old artifact and use it for its own mercenary purposes. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is focused on Lara herself. The screenwriters reveal the character of Lara and explain how she ended up living like that. By the way, for the sake of the interest, you can switch the old images of the Lara. Skins from the past games of the series are available in the game. The evolution of the character is well seen. With each new part, Lara's appearance becomes more and more natural, and clothes suitable for the circumstances. In the game, they remain in the gathering, but less attention is paid to this. Almost no situation arises when there is not enough resources to create medicine, or let's say a small bomb. And for this you don't need to collect everything, just loot, which arises without going off your road. Just wandering around the jungle will be too boring, so sometimes you will be entertained by the predator attacks. In the last part of Lara, it was in Siberia, so there were the boss's bears. And in the Peruvian forest, the jaguars became interested in the girl. The scenes of the first meeting with the big cat was clearly created by Eidos Montreal under the impression of the survivor. The animal hides behind the trees, unexpectedly attacks from the back, and Lara does not really have a weapon, a flimsy bow and a sharp fragment of the propeller. The atmosphere here is tense. By the way, the bow was a valuable thing in the inventory before, and now it can be called the main weapon. The fact is in the games it makes a special in phases on the secretive passes. One of the few innovations is in chase stealth capabilities. Now Lara can arrange in a mood bath. The girl will be smeared from the head to the foot, and it will be more difficult for opponents to notice her. Still, occasionally you can watch the opponent sitting on the tree and handing it upside down, but such situations are rarely arise. Location also rather linear, in most cases only one way, but in combat episode there is a room for tactics. Stealths take quite a long time to learn. We need to study the route of protection, then catch opponents one at a time or eliminate them from afar. Therefore, many episodes can be an open fight, just a hit option will be more difficult. Here everything is unchanged. We hide, we aim at the top of opponents sticking out of the shelters, and run away from the grenades thrown at our feet. In the moment of the calm, after reaching the next ruins, Lara will have to solve the puzzles. As before, they are done in a big way. We raise the bridges, active flimsy structures, collect puzzles. Solving the mechanics is interesting, the tasks are rather easy, and the principle of passing is usually understandable at once. But it is not always as easy to find a solution. Climbing the location is also in fact an element of the puzzle. The path is not always obvious. In order, for example, to pass the teeth of the eagle, you have to find a sinker with a huge mechanism. as if jumping from the beam to another at the right moment. For example, you need to turn the column and it's kept by wooden debris. For some reason, it is Due to the base in research and the solution of the problems, Shadow of the Tomb Raider lost in the entertainment. In the composition with the last part, there is not enough action movie scene, where you shoot, chase and jump from the lost forces on the falling platforms. On the other hand, the cinematic staging of the action scene is an element of another adventure game, Uncharted. Perhaps Hideo Monreal deliberately moved away from the explosive episodes, but the other fragments are very much likely from the series of Naughty Dogs. The heroes discussing the legends on the Legends bar of the terrace is almost like Uncharted 2 among the Thieves' entry. The fall of the plane in the jungle also refers to Nate's adventures, as well as the flashbacks in Lara's childhood. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, even on ordinary PlayStation 4 platform, looks very tolerable. Frankly, at the start the expected picture was worse. Such games looks great in dynamics. Long time ago, when the jungle were restricted, there were no animals. The leaves are glued to the branches. Now everything is different. Now everything is moving. Lara kicks the brushes with her feet. The tropical bird looks curiously at the visitor, hurrying of the clearing. The trees are gradually falling from the trees. Hideo Monreal still managed to make another great game of the Tomb Raider. Most of the time, Lara will spend alone, solving the puzzles and jumping over ruins, and it turns out that she had better than shooting armored mechanism. The original adventure of the Lara Croft, despite of extensional rebrands of the parts, the emphasis on the research and solving puzzles, minimum shooting but with the precision of the drive and tensions, in some this is an excellent combination, especially in the absence of the competitors. Thank you for watching our video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and let's see you in the next video. See ya.